Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. My name's Hajra and I'm a senior officer in the mental health and wellbeing team at Birmingham City Council's Public Health. This webinar is part of a series of resources which are aimed at helping professionals and community leaders with direct reach to communities and an established, trusted relationship to support their communities to improve their health and wellbeing. Today, we're going to be talking about sleep, and a good place to start is understanding sleep on a basic level. So we sleep to rest, grow, repair, and develop, and we sleep in different stages. During stage one, it's the stage where we experience the transition between wakefulness and sleep. Stage two is a period of light sleep. Stages three and four are when our deep sleep occurs. Our muscles relax, our blood pressure and breathing rates drop, and we start to sleep deeply. REM sleep is the part of sleep where our brain becomes more active. So our body becomes relaxed and immobilized, our dreams occur, and our eyes move rapidly. And while sleeping, we go to and from these different stages regularly, multiple times throughout the night, sometimes waking up in between. So, how much sleep do we really need? It really varies in terms of who you are and what your lifestyle's like. So, many studies show that people range between needing 6 to 10 hours of sleep a night, and this can change throughout your life. For example, a newborn baby spends about 14 to 17 hours a day asleep. A toddler spends between 11 and 14 hours a day, maybe 8 to 10 hours as a teenager, and an older adult, maybe 7 to 8 hours. It also depends on your lifestyle. So, if you're more active, you may require more sleep, and if you're less active, you may require less. The kind of sleep we need during our life also changes across the life course. So, sleep in older people tends to be lighter, more restless, or more broken with more frequent periods of waking. For example, a typical person aged 70, deep sleep takes up less than 10% of the night's sleep. So, what causes problems with sleep? There are lots of different factors that have knock on effects on how we sleep. So, firstly, genetics and psychological characteristics can play a role. Another big one is stress. So, whether it's everyday worries or something more specific, like a bereavement or a house move, stress can make it really hard for your mind to get relaxed enough to fall asleep. Unhelpful daytime routines can also play a role. So, whether this isn't being able to get outside to get some sunlight during the day, it's spending lots of time awake in bed during the day or taking lots of naps. What we do and don't do during the day can affect our sleep a lot. Having an irregular nighttime routine can also have an impact. So that might be because you work irregular shifts at work, or you just don't have a routine around bedtime and the way you go to bed, and this can have an impact on the quality and type of sleep we get. Another thing is overstimulating activity before bed. So whether this is smoking, using electronic devices right before you try to sleep, doing hard exercise, or taking caffeine too close to bed, doing things which overstimulate our brains too close to bed can make it hard to fall asleep in the first place. Our mental health can also cause problems with sleep, and sleeping difficulties are a really common symptom of depression. This could mean waking up early and being unable to get back to sleep, oversleeping, or difficulty falling asleep in the first place. Other conditions like PTSD or anxiety, which can cause panic attacks or nightmares, can also make it difficult to have good quality sleep. And then there are medical reasons, so whether it's pregnancy, older age, or a type of condition that causes it, needing to go to the toilet in the night can be very disruptive towards sleep. The menopause can also have an impact on sleep, often due to hot flushes and sweating. Post-menopause, a lot of women also say that staying asleep and sleep difficulties often stay present post-menopause. Pain, such as arthritis or being on medication which affects your sleep, can cause issues. Sleep apnea is a sleep condition that presents in someone snoring and breathing loudly with pausing and gasping. This is typically more common in people of higher weights or people who smoke or drink alcohol, but if you do have any of the symptoms of sleep apnea, you should go and see your GP. Another physical health condition that can cause difficulties with sleep is restless leg syndrome, which comes with urges to move your legs. Age can also impact and cause problems with sleep. So, when people get older, they can start to sleep less deeply and may also start sleeping less during the night. This is also impacted by the fact that sometimes older people can drop off during the day. And again, this reinforces this cycle of not sleeping well at night. Whilst less sleep isn't necessarily a problem, it can cause quite a lot of anxiety, which again reinforces this cycle of not being able to sleep very well. And the last thing is discomfort. So, whether it's your room being too hot or too cold, having some light coming in through the window, or a bed that's too hard or too soft, or sometimes trying to go to sleep somewhere new. How comfortable you feel in your environment can make a big difference to your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. So, how do different sleep problems actually present? So, we all have different relationships with sleep, and bad sleep means different things to different people. So, it might be that you have difficulty getting off to sleep, you toss and turn a lot, and you're not actually able to drop off when you want to. Difficulty staying asleep, you might wake up various times through the night, or you might wake up too early in the morning. You might have poor quality, disturbed sleep, and find yourself just waking up really frequently and not being able to get back to sleep. Or you might find that you sleep too much and you find it really difficult to get out of bed in the morning. So, what impact can these sleep difficulties have on us? Sleep is really, really a key human need for us all. And when we're not getting it, it can really impact how we think and how we feel. And one of the most obvious ones will be that if you don't get enough sleep or enough quality sleep, you can just feel constantly tired. And this can make just doing day to day activities a real challenge. It can also really impact your mood. So, you might find yourself getting tearful or quite irritable if you're not getting the sleep that you need. You might have difficulty getting up out of bed in the morning, or difficulty concentrating, or you might find that you have an exacerbation of existing health problems, whether that's physical health or mental health. The good thing is that there are lots of things we can do to make sure that we sleep better. The first thing is making sure that we address stress and worries before we try and go to sleep. So, for me, that's trying to journal before I go to bed about my day and get any worries out. You might want to try keeping a pen and paper next to your bed so you can write down anything that makes you feel anxious in bed and then come back to it the next day rather than worrying about it through the night. The second thing is making sure that you have a comfortable sleeping environment. So, experts recommend keeping your bedroom dark, quiet, and a little bit cool. Avoid having clocks in your line of sight so you can't see what time it is and worry about how long it's taking you to fall asleep. Try and make sure that your bedding is comfortable for you, and if you have any disturbances from light or noise, that you're trying to block these out with earplugs or an eye mask. Next, think about what you're putting in your body and when you're putting it in. So, try not to go to bed overly hungry or overly full. Avoid caffeine or alcohol within 6 hours of sleep and cigarettes within 4 hours of sleep. And check with your pharmacist or doctor if you're on regular medication what the best time of day is to take that, as some medications can actually interfere with your sleep and keep you awake or keep you asleep for longer. You can also try and make changes in the daytime that mean your sleep will improve. So try and keep meals, medications, chores, and other activities to regular times and schedule, just to try and help keep your inner body clock on a regular routine. Try and get outside for about 10 to 15 minutes every day for a melatonin boost, which will help you sleep. Avoid time spent in bed awake during the day if possible. Try and keep your bed just for sleeping. And whether it's in the gym or doing some housework, try and find a way to move your body through the day and do some physical activity. Next, try and develop a bedtime routine. So, this would look different for everyone, but it's about trying to find some rituals or activities to help you relax. So, that might be a warm bath, a hot drink, or a few minutes of reading before bed. We also recommend that you stop using electronics about an hour before bed and that you try to go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. A lot of people like to lie in on the weekends, but if you can try and make this maybe only an hour later than you would wake up during the week, that can help just to make sure your body clock's not getting disrupted too much. Next, just try and be aware of your tiredness levels. So that means not going to bed until you're actually sleepy. If you're not tired yet, try and do something to relax your mind and your body before you attempt to go to sleep, rather than going to bed, not being able to sleep, becoming anxious, and then finding it even more challenging to go to sleep. And lastly, if you're not asleep after 15 minutes of trying to go to sleep, get up, get out of bed, and go and do something else. And then once you feel sleepy, then is the right time to return to bed. So, overcoming problems with sleep. If you have identified that you have an issue with sleep, whatever that is, the first thing we need to do is try and identify the problem. Is it that you find that you are struggling to get to sleep? Is it that you find that only happens if you're having caffeine too close to bed? Is it that you find that your room is too noisy? Once you've identified that problem, then is a really good time to make a change to address that problem. So if caffeine related insomnia is the issue, try and make sure that you're moving your coffee to the morning and avoiding it in the afternoon and the evening. If it's noise, try and source some earplugs to help kind of block that out for you. And lastly, seek help when you need it. It's great to make changes on your own, but if you feel like your changes aren't helping improve your sleep, it's time to seek help from your GP. So, where can you get some advice and support if you feel that you need it? There are loads of different organisations which provide advice and support to anyone who's experiencing difficulties with sleep, such as the National Sleep Helpline, Mind, and Every Mind Matters. And the links are posted in the presentation attached to this. Ultimately, if you feel like your sleep difficulties are affecting your life and they don't seem to be improving with changes that you're making, it's time to seek some help. And the best way to do that is by looking at one of these resources or speaking to your GP. I hope you've enjoyed this webinar on sleep. I hope you have a bolder, healthier winter. Thank you.